Hello, everyone. This is Scott Reese and Jim Caswell greeting you today on behalf of the Commercial Board Education Committee. We hope that you are all safe and well and that you are enjoying our weekly video snacks. We look forward to being back together at our education seminars in the coming months. Jim?
Thank you, Scott. And this is Jim Caswell. We'd like to say first and foremost that none of this would be possible without the support of our annual corporate sponsors and our annual education sponsors. They have been longtime supporters of the ACBR, and let's be sure the next time you have a video chat or you see one of our sponsors, you thank them for their support. We hope you enjoy the videos. We hope that you stay safe out there.
Hello, ACBR members. Hope that everyone's staying safe. I hope that everybody's hanging in there. I'm Jim Caswell, and I'm the 2020 co-chair of the Education Committee. Hope that you all have been enjoying our virtual snack series thus far. We've had to be a bit creative with our content over the last few months as our in-person seminars have not been possible. We've got a great video this week, and it's a topic I believe everyone's going to find extremely relevant: getting back to the office. This week's video will be hosted by Jeff Shaw, the CEO of our firm, Bridge Commercial Real Estate. Jeff's going to cover a number of safety protocols we're implementing on how to safely reenter the workplace and get back to the office.
Thank you, Jim. Hi, this is Jeff Shaw with Bridge Investment Group, and today's video snack is going to be on going back to work, something that I know we're all thinking about pretty heavily. With Bridge, we have about 14 million square feet across the country, well over 1,000 tenants, and so we actually have a front row seat to these decisions that companies are making. And we just moved 40,000 square feet back into Concourse, learned some lessons along the way, so it's certainly been on the front of our mind as well. The commercial board went out and did a work survey on May 4th to all of the members, got about 235 responses. It's pretty interesting. So out of those folks that responded back to the survey, they said that about 65% were planning on moving back this month in May. And then if we bumped it into June, it actually increased to 90%. So at least for the Atlanta market, it looks like everybody's moving forward. And as we look into other markets around the country, we're getting similar messages, obviously controlled by orders that have not been lifted yet in some cities. But for the most part, most companies right now are looking at moving back in. So first and foremost, we've got to take and acknowledge what we've been through. This has not been an easy process for anybody. And so as you're thinking about going back into the office, you have to realize that there's both the health aspect of this, because that needs to be first and foremost, and then secondly, the psychological aspect of this, which is we've been pummeled. We went through the shock that this actually happened, the realization that we were going to have to move from our offices and to home. And now we've been at home long enough that we've kind of gotten our systems going. And whether you like it or not, you're starting to now have that tug to come back. And so what are the steps and what are the things you need to think of as you're trying to pull your people back into the office or go to yourself? Flexibility is a big deal. It's important to communicate like crazy, and you need to let people know well in advance that you're going to be moving in. You need to know why you're moving in, and then after you get in, you have to continue that communication so that people feel comfortable that they have a resource to be able to express the emotions they're feeling, any concerns that they have, and also a lot of really great ideas to think about circulation and flow. One of the things that has been a big deal for us as we've been going back is that businesses are trying to worry about their own space and not trying to think about their office buildings. And so, building access is an important thing to consider. Elevators and whether or not there's a limitation to the number of people that are going in, at least for a period of time. What is the cleaning regimen that your building is doing? So are they, have they increased the cleaning? Have they adjusted their cleaning materials to be CDC compliant? The HVAC system, you hear a lot about air quality. Many buildings already have an upgraded filtration system. You've got to go in and you got to look at that, and then you got to let your folks understand within the building, that you're regularly changing the filtration systems out. And so all of these things and other initiatives and other policies and procedures are going to be really important for you to think about and communicate with your landlord as you're moving back into the office. The next really piece is the safety part. You know, first and foremost, it's about protecting your people. It's about protecting the public. And you've got to be able to make sure that you're paying attention to what the CDC is saying, what the WHO is saying, and then the local authorities, because every market's a little bit different and is responding better than others as far as with the pandemic. So once your local authorities have lifted those orders and that there are no other issues related from the government side that would restrict you from being able to go in, then you got to think about how you're going in. And so when we looked at the commercial board survey, it pretty much matched up on what we've been seeing across the country, and that's that about half of the people are actually planning on wearing masks in the office. I think office is actually considered the CDC a level 1 or a that's probably not the appropriate way to say it, but it's a low risk environment. And so in some cases, which you should double check, it says that you don't have to wear masks. We at our company decided to go ahead and do that. Part of that is to make sure that we are maybe pushing a little bit more than we need to at first, and then allowing our employees over time to get comfortable in the new environment, get back in, and then we'll start relieving some of those restrictions. We're actually doing nursing. An RN that's coming into our space and taking temperatures. And we're going to do that for a little while too and ask questions. And so good to think about. Another thing to think through is floor circulation. There's some great resources out there, whether you go to an architect, whether you go to an online service, and look at uploading your plan and then taking a look at where your furniture is sitting, where people are sitting, and looking at your organization overall and just seeing who can work from home, who can comfortably be in the office, and then who could flex their time or hours for a period of time until we get everything back to the new normal. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen in today. If you have any other questions for me, you're always welcome to reach out. There's some great resources in your area as well as the commercial board. And thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.